Frontier opening bell Thursday, the 7th of December. Welcome everyone to today's a package of the show. Let me walk you through, as always, through key markets coverage for the third trading day. We've got some positive readings from South Africa. The GSE up by 0.25%. Wednesday led basically by resources up by 1 and 8 basis points. The financial services also up by roughly 0.5%. We've got some big names outside those two indices, like MTN Group shares climbing strongly on Wednesday. So the GSE followed the rest of the emerging and developed markets in the green territory. That's about 75,400 reading. The Nairobi stock market dived by nearly 1%. We saw a couple of declines on that particular market, despite Safaricom shares up by 2.76% and ABSA up by almost the same margin, 2.75%. The market in Nairobi was down on declines by Everready, Cooperative Bank, NBV, that's the Nairobi Business Ventures, as well as other names such as Scan Group and Luke Oil. Take it up to the Egyptian market, down also by 0.1%, about 1.6%, I beg your pardon, that's a bit there. The EGX market dived 1.6% on Wednesday. The BRVM was up by 11 basis points. The shares of Orange Telecom climbed very strongly on Wednesday. That's about 7.45%. And you talk about the Nigerian market adding roughly 350 billion naira to the total market value. Since we started the week, the Nigerian market has been up about 500 billion naira. Yesterday, the stock market index went up to cross 40.11% since the start of the year in local currency terms. That's index return, beating local inflation. That's 71,808 on the day that the central bank conducted its weekly primary market auction. Investors buying very strongly into those treasuries at the PMA. Let's take it down across those markets and just walk into some of the headlines as we start the fourth trading day of the week. Uganda, central bank holds interest rates unchanged at 9.5% to anchor inflation around target. We heard from the deputy governor of the central bank yesterday Alfred talking to the press after that decision making. You also had monetary policy decisions announcement from Kenya as well, from Dr. Tuje, who's the central bank governor, talking about how the Kenyan economy is performing among its peers in East Africa. That 200 basis points announcement taking Kenya's interest rate to 12.5%, a very major announcement, shocking the market. Then in East Africa, the Airtel Uganda is paying cash dividend of about 3 billion gross dividend to shareholders. Kakuzi, Kenya, is warning that its full year 2023 profit will be down by about 25% a year-on-year basis. The announcement came through to the market. Forbes has listed President Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania as one of the world's most powerful women. That new list also had Nigerian-born Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, being named once again among the most powerful women in the world. Congratulations to both Salah Hussein, Her Excellency, as well as Dr. Okonjo-Iweala. And Angola is getting the largest U.S. rail investment of about $1 billion for the Lobito rail corridor. This is going to be the largest rail network in Africa's history. About $350 million of that money is expected to come into Angola before the end of the year. That's $1 billion also have 4G, 5G connectivity that will be done in Angola. And of course, about 182 bridges will be constructed around 8 regions in Angola within that same $1 billion. Then, of course, you've got about 500 megawatts of solar plant facility, which will go up about $800 or $900 million out of that $1 billion plus. So it's a huge announcement of investment into Angola, Africa's second largest oil producer by the Biden's administration. Good news for Angola. Let's take it now and look at West Africa, with the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System making an announcement yesterday that non-bank fintech institutions should no longer be included among the beneficiaries of online payment transactions in Nigeria. So a couple of these fintechs will be knocked off according to a new directive. The NIBSS, which is the Nigerian Bank's settlement system, wants to clean up the system as we see an increase in cyber fraud in Nigeria's fintech and banking space. COP28. The NNPC, Nigeria's state oil corporation, says it signed 2 new deals for local and international gas deliveries. The Corporate Affairs Commission, that's the agency responsible for the registration of companies in Nigeria, says 100 million naira is the new paid-up capital requirements for any organization doing business in Nigeria with foreign participation in the company, and that's the latest news. Cote d'Ivoire is still in West Africa, says about 42.8 billion CFA francs was what the treasury was able to raise from the UMO market, while Senegal's economic activity increased by 2.6% at the end of September. That's the end of third quarter, July to September. Let's take it up. Look at Southern Africa. And again, you're looking at the rand yesterday, finishing around 18.89 on the dollar, climbing on the greenback 0.38%. I saw a bit of a tapering in the dollar index, printing just a little bit around 103.97 yesterday evening. Namibia central bank yesterday hold interest rate at 7.75%, citing inflation slowdown. One of the central banks on the continent holding its final rate decisions in 2023. You got Zambia announcing that all new foreign government securities will be issued effective from January next year at par. That will be at the primary market, by the way. Zimbabwe said it set aside about $55 billion as in the 2024 budget to start the repayment of to start the compensation for white farmers whose lands were grabbed by the country's former president, who's now late, Robert Mugabe. South Africa wants talks with Botswana, wants to sit around the table to discuss the face-off around the food ban between both countries. And South Africa reporting job losses up in November because the private sector activity contracted to 45.8 in the month of November. Let's walk you through the North African corridor as we wrap up the frontier opening bell for this Thursday. Egypt is raising fuel subsidies by 9% for the 2023-24 year period, while Belton Financials is buying a stake in Sadiq's subsidiary. And the Morocco Treasury says investing 3.7 billion of local currency in the cash surpluses investment operations through the money market. And the BMCI Group says about 98.36% was the upside in its consolidated profit for the period ended September 2023. And those are some of the headlines we have for you at this time on Frontier Opening Bell. Do have a great day, everyone. I'll see you very soon. Go online and watch this show again, as well as other shows and other programs that we have on our YouTube at youtube.com.